Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and it's the encouraging word for today. And we are learning lessons from the life of King David. Now, David was in a tough situation. Satan had used people who should have been on his side, like King Saul, like his father, like his older brother, to try to discourage him from taking the step to fight Goliath. Then, when he stands against Goliath, Goliath seeks to intimidate him, to create fear before the battle. He paints a negative picture of what's going to happen to you if you continue on this course. So David is confronted with the 1-2 punch of discouragement and fear. That's a hard punch to come up from. That's a hard attack to respond to. So what does David do? And we learn a key lesson by looking at what David does. Let's look at 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 45 and 46. David said to the Philistine, Goliath, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head." Wow. Maybe David knew what God had told Joshua in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9. God said, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged." He recognized that it was fear and discouragement seeking to stop him. So number one is recognize what the enemy is seeking to do. And these are two key areas, as I've said before, fear and discouragement. When they come, recognize them. They are lies. Then David declares the truth out loud. God has given him the authority, and he's going to exercise that authority to destroy Goliath. And listen, God has given you and I the authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm us. That's Luke chapter 10. Nothing will harm us. So where is fear and discouragement? It goes away when we declare our authority in Jesus Christ and our attitude change. Then he reminds himself that the enemy is facing not David, but he's facing what David represents, which is God Almighty. He's a representative of God Almighty. And you, my friends, if you are a follower of Jesus Christ, you are a representative of God Almighty. You have his authority. And so knowing those things, David refuses to be intimidated. David refuses to be discouraged. And you and I can refuse fear. We don't have to be afraid. And you and I can refuse discouragement. I know it's a word for some of you today. You stand in God's authority. Refuse the discouragement. Refuse the fear. And tomorrow we'll continue with this idea, and the title tomorrow is It's God's Battle, Not Yours. So until tomorrow, have a great day and stand in the authority you have as a follower of Jesus. God bless you.